Die onlangse veldbrande in Australië het die wêreld aan hulle harte geruk, veral aangesien die koalas baie erg deurgeloop het. En Dr. Stuart Blanch van die WWF in Australië sluit via Skype by ons aan vir 'n oorsig oor die huidige stand van sake. So good morning and welcome, Stuart, via Skype.
Good morning, Elsa. Good morning, South Africa.
What is or was the scope of the wildfires in Australia and the impact on the environment or the ecosystem?
Well, it's a terrible tragedy for our wildlife. We estimate maybe 2 million hectares of forest and woodlands have been burnt across eastern Australia in the last 1 month. And it's only just started becoming summer, as you know. So we have a long, hot, dry summer and more bushfires to come.
There were quite a few reports regarding the koalas and 95% of the environment that is now destroyed. So what is the current state of affairs within that regard?
Well, koalas are in real trouble, particularly in the states of Queensland and New South Wales on the east coast. Their numbers have fallen very dramatically in the last 50 years. Over the last 230 years, the koala population has fallen from an estimated 10 million down to perhaps only 100 to 200,000 koalas. So they're in real trouble, and these bushfires and the drought caused by climate change is making it a lot worse.
Were you able to save some of the koalas?
Well, the great wildlife carers that we support have saved a lot of koalas, and koalas can be tough. They've adapted to live in eucalypt forests which burn, and so koalas are tough, and that gives us a lot of hope. The real impact, though, is deforestation or habitat loss, and every year in Australia, maybe 500,000 hectares of forests and woodlands are bulldozed. That makes us one of the top 11 deforesters in the world alongside the Amazon and the Congo. So koalas really are facing a hard time because we're destroying their homes, and the bushfires on top are making it worse. But I love Australians because they're getting out, rescuing koalas, helping them to heal, and they'll be reintroduced into the wild if they survive.
Does this mean that the koalas now also classified as an endangered species?
They're not endangered yet. They're still a vulnerable species, but WWF has started drafting a nomination to have koalas uplisted to an endangered species. Other groups have said that koalas are functionally extinct. We do not agree. It's too early to say that. We don't know how many koalas were killed in the bushfires, but a lot will have been. The good news is there are at least 20 populations of koalas on the east coast which are big enough. They have more than 500 species to be genetically healthy. So our focus is working with farmers, government, Aboriginal communities, researchers, wildlife carers to stabilise those populations and hopefully increase them in the years ahead.
What is your opinion about the public who got involved in order to help? I mean, there has been a video on social media with a woman who tried to save one of the koalas.
Yes, I know the place where that koala came from. It's beautiful country, and it's a terrible shock that those koalas have died. I think if people want to help, they can jump on the WWF Australia website. You can find more information. You can donate. One thing we are doing is funding farmers to plant more trees for koalas to live in. We also support great koala hospitals like the Port Macquarie Koala Hospital, which is doing a great job saving koalas. And wildlife carers up and down the East Coast need your support. The other thing you can do is South Africans can contact the Australian Embassy in Pretoria and say, we want you in Australia to save koalas. And I love the wildlife in Kruger National Park when I visit South Africa. And I love the thought that South Africans also care about our koalas and kangaroos.
What else can be done to create or spread more awareness?
Yeah. Well, if you can jump on social media, WWF Australia has been releasing information about our bold and ambitious plan that we released today called Towards 2 Billion Trees. And our goal over the next 10 years is to save and grow 2 billion trees. That's more homes for koalas, more homes for wildlife, more carbon locked away in forests to help our fight against climate change, and helping rural and regional Australia stay sustainable. So we'd love the support of South Africans, including through WWF South Africa, to spread the word that Australian forests are in trouble. We have to stop bulldozing them, and we need to save koalas, which means working on both deforestation and climate change. If we don't do both, we don't think koalas will survive this century.
Thank you so much for the work that you are doing, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Elsa. Bye.
Dit was dan Dr. Stuart Blanch van die WWF in Australië.
Welkom by die Groot Ontbyt se YouTube kanaal. As jy dit nog nie gedoen het nie, maak seker jy teken aan deur op die rooi subscribe knoppie te klik. Maar vir meer video's soos die kan jy ook gaan na die playlist opsie. Maak intussen ook seker jy kom daagliks terug na die platform toe, want ons maak seker ons hou jou nuuskierig en op hoogte van sake met daaglikse byvoegings.